She never planned to fall for the man whose life she saved in the middle of a storm. But destiny doesn't ask permission, it demands a price. Keep watching, because some rescues don't end at the sirens, they begin there. Rain hammered the city like judgment. Maya Williams hunched under a flickering streetlight, coat clinging to her skin, when a child's voice cut through the storm. "Ma'am? Please, please save my dad." She turned. A boy, 5 or 6, stood drenched, eyes wide with terror. Behind him, a luxury car idled crooked on the shoulder. The driver's door hung open. Maya ran. Inside the Bentley, a man slumped over the wheel, mid-40s, suit-soaked, face ghost pale. His pulse fluttered, fading. "Stay back, sweetheart," Maya told the boy. Her hands moved on instinct, airway, pulse, compressions. 1, 2, 3, breathe. The rhythm came back like muscle memory, the kind she'd buried after losing her nurse's license for exposing a doctor's abuse. Headlights sliced through the rain. Another car screeched to a stop. A woman stepped out, expensive coat, diamonds flashing like weapons. "What are you doing to my son?" she shrieked. "I'm helping him," Maya shouted. The umbrella struck her shoulder before she finished. Pain ripped down her arm. "Get away!" the woman screamed again. The boy sobbed. "Grandma, stop! She's helping Daddy." The words finally cracked the air. The woman froze just long enough for Maya to press again, harder, faster. "Come on," she whispered, rain mixing with tears. "Don't you dare leave that boy." A cough, a gasp. Then breath. The man's chest rose, shallow but steady. Blue-red lights flashed, sirens screamed. Officers spilled from cruisers, and before Maya could speak, cold metal circled her wrists. "She attacked him," the older woman cried. "She saved him," the boy yelled, voice breaking. Maya met his eyes through the downpour and forced a shaky smile. "It's okay, honey. Your daddy's safe now." The patrol car reeked of rain and vinyl. Her cheek burned where the umbrella had hit. "Name?" the officer asked. "Maya Williams." He barely looked at her. "You assaulted the man? I saved his life." "That's not what the witness said." "Look at my face," she snapped. "Does it look like I hit anyone?" A second officer appeared, radio crackling, confirming CPR performed by the woman. "Kid corroborates. Paramedic says her technique was perfect." The first officer hesitated, then sighed. "You're free to go, Miss Williams." Maya stepped into the rain again, soaked, bruised, trembling. The boy tore away from a paramedic and ran into her arms. "You're not going to jail," he said between sobs. "No, baby." "I'm not?" Behind them, the older woman stood motionless, shame starting where fear had been. A paramedic approached. "You sure you're not active duty?" "Not anymore," Maya said softly. Then a rasp from the stretcher. "Wait." The man, alive now, looked at her through the oxygen mask. "You saved me," he whispered. "I did what I had to do. Thank you." She nodded, numb. As the ambulance doors shut, her world shrank to sirens fading into darkness. Back home, her aunt's voice cut through the quiet. "Baby, what happened to your face?" Maya told her everything. The boy, the heart attack, the arrest. Her aunt poured tea, eyes wet. "You did right, child. The world just forgot what right looks like." Maya wanted to believe that. 2 days later, her phone rang. Unknown number. "Miss Williams," a man said. "This is Dr. First. Kaminsky at Atlanta Regional. Mr. Elliot Carter is recovering. He asked to see you." Her pulse skipped. "He's conscious?" "Yes. Stable. Stable." He said his first words after surgery were, "Find her." She hesitated, staring at her reflection in the rain-streaked window. "Tell him, I'll come." The hospital smelled of antiseptic and something lonelier. Maya's bruises had begun to fade, but the memory of that night hadn't. Room 718. She paused at the door. Elliot Carter looked smaller without the world attached to him. No headlines, no wealth, just a man with machines breathing beside him. Maya Williams, he said, voice weak but clear. I was hoping you'd come. I almost didn't. Then I would have owed you even more, he smiled faintly. They told me what you did. I owe you my life. I didn't do it for gratitude. I know. That's why it means more. She studied him, those intelligent eyes softened now by something human. Why'd you help me, he asked. Because your son begged me to, his lips curved. Smart kid. Silence stretched between them, gentle this time. Then the door opened again. Helen Carter stepped in, flowers trembling in her hands. Maya stood, jaw tight. I don't need an apology. Helen's voice cracked. Then just accept the truth. I was wrong. Maya's throat tightened. Start by teaching your grandson that courage doesn't come from fear. Helen nodded once, eyes glassy. He already has the right teacher. When she left, the room felt lighter. Elliot chuckled softly. You're not like anyone I've met. Good. You'll come back? Maybe. Can I call you? Depends. You going to ask for stock advice? He laughed. A real one this time. No. I just want to hear your voice without dying first. Maya shook her head, but the corner of her mouth lifted. Then stay alive. That night, she couldn't sleep. His voice haunted the quiet. Gratitude shouldn't sound that intimate, but it did. Outside, thunder rumbled again, distant now, like the memory of that night refusing to fade. She poured herself coffee and whispered to the empty room, You're not supposed to feel this, Maya. But the heart never checks credentials before it beats. 3 weeks after the storm, Maya stood outside Atlanta Regional again, clutching a small envelope, his handwritten note, simple and neat, Please come. I owe you more than words. She almost didn't, but curiosity, that dangerous cousin of hope, pushed her through the door. Elliot Carter was waiting in the hospital garden, sitting on a bench beneath the willow trees, coat draped over his shoulders like armor. The city glittered beyond him, indifferent as ever. When he saw her, he stood, slowly, like every move, still in negotiation with his body. You came, he said. I didn't promise I would. And yet you're here. She crossed her arms. Say what you need to say. He looked at her, really looked. You saved me when you had every reason not to. My mother, I can't defend her. I can only tell you I've never been more ashamed of the world I come from. Maya exhaled. Shame's a start. Change is better. That's what I want, he said, to start something better. With you. The words hung in the cold air, heavier than he intended. She blinked. With me? I run a medical foundation in my wife's memory, scholarships, clinics. I want to fund your license renewal, help you go back to nursing. Maya hesitated. This sounds like charity. It's not charity, Maya. It's respect. You deserve your career back. Her chest ached at his sincerity, but old wounds don't close with one kind sentence. And if I say no, then I'll still owe you my life, he said simply. That debt doesn't expire. 2 weeks later, a manila folder arrived at her door. Inside, acceptance papers from Emory University's School of Nursing, a scholarship under the Lillian Carter Foundation. Her Aunt Lorraine found her staring at the letter like it might vanish. You going back? I don't know. Baby, you can't run from healing forever. When Maya finally stepped onto campus again, the world felt both familiar and foreign. Students hurried past, earbuds in, caffeine-fueled and unbroken. She felt the ghost of who she'd been among them. At orientation, a nurse handed her a folded white coat with her name stitched on it, M. Williams, RN student. It wasn't redemption, it was reclamation. Later that afternoon, she sat at a cafe reviewing her schedule when a shadow fell over her table. Early start, Elliot said, setting down a cup. I didn't expect you to say yes. I haven't, she said coolly. He smiled. You're wearing the coat. That's not the same thing. It's close enough. They sat in silence for a moment, the hum of the city around them. He watched her like a man rediscovering the world in color. You know, he said quietly, the day you saved me, I thought I was dying. I wasn't scared of death. I was scared of what I'd never fixed. Like what? My mother, my son, my conscience. He looked at her, then I opened my eyes, and there you were. It felt like God was giving me one more chance to make something right. Maya stirred her coffee, avoiding his gaze. You give the universe too much credit. And you don't give it enough. Her phone buzzed, a news alert. Billionaire Elliot Carter funds nurse reinstatement program for underrepresented women. Her eyes widened. You didn't, he shrugged. I did. You inspired it. She shook her head, half laughing, half incredulous. You don't even know me. I'm trying to, he said softly. Something in his voice, quiet, careful, slipped past her defenses. Days turned to weeks. She studied. He recovered. They met sometimes at the hospital cafe, just coffee, he'd say, but their conversations ran deeper. She learned he'd lost his wife years ago to cancer. He learned she still woke at 3 a.m. from the sound of imaginary sirens. Once, when she joked that he was too rich to be sincere, he smiled sadly. Money can't buy sincerity, Maya. It just buys better masks. Their connection grew in the space between healing and guilt, but peace never lasts long. One night, as she closed the clinic she volunteered at, a car idled across the street, the same black Mercedes from the night of the rescue. Her heart skipped, then headlights blinked twice, and the car drove off. Coincidence, she told herself, but fear has a memory. The next morning, she arrived at school to find a reporter waiting outside. Miss Williams, he called. How does it feel to be the face of the Carter Redemption campaign? She froze. Excuse me? He thrust a microphone toward her. The Billionaires Project. Your photos everywhere. You're the hero nurse. How much are they paying you to play along? She walked away, cheeks burning. Inside, she texted him, What did you do, Elliot? The reply came fast. Damage control. My PR team overreached. I'm sorry. I'll fix it. But some things can't be undone. By nightfall, social media had twisted her story into a headline. From hero to hired face, her past resurfaced, her suspension, the accusations of insubordination. Anonymous comments called her a fraud. When her aunt showed her the news, Maya just whispered, It's happening again. That night, she found him waiting outside her apartment. No driver, no press, just him. I told them to take it down, he said. They didn't listen. You should have left me out of it, she said coldly. I was trying to help. You don't help people by owning their story. Maya, don't. Her voice cracked. Every time I rise, someone turns me into a headline. I don't need saving. He looked gutted. That's not what I was trying to do. Then what were you trying to do? He hesitated. Maybe I was trying to feel worthy of you. Her breath caught. For a second, silence became something fragile, almost holy. Don't, she whispered again, softer now. Don't say that. I already did. Then he stepped closer, slow enough to let her stop him. She didn't. Rain began to fall again, faint and familiar. He lifted his hand, brushed a drop from her cheek. Trust me, he said quietly. The words hit her like thunder, too much, too soon, too dangerous. I did once, she said. And it nearly broke me. He stepped back. The moment cracked. I'll fix this, he murmured. No more headlines. Just truth. But truth, like storms, never asks permission. The news cycle wouldn't die. Maya's name trended for all the wrong reasons. Unlicensed nurse becomes billionaire's charity project. Her inbox filled with interview requests, offers, and hate. She ignored them all until one night a photo slid under her apartment door. It showed her locking up the small clinic she volunteered at. Another, Elliot Jr., playing in a park. A third, her, alone, walking home, no words. No threats, just a message that said, "We see you." She took the photos to the police. The officer sighed. Could be trolls, could be worse. We'll look into it. But Maya already knew what fear felt like when it came dressed in silence. Elliot showed up the next day, jaw tight, fury barely contained. "Someone's targeting you. That's on me." "You think money attracts only good people?" she asked. He exhaled. "Let me protect you. I don't need—" "Yes, you do." His voice cracked, raw, desperate. "You saved me once. Let me do something that matters." Her chest tightened. "Fine, but I'm not your project." He met her gaze. "You never were." That night, a security team appeared at her door. Cameras, alarms, locks, too much, too late. Because evil had already found her. 3 nights later, the clinic alarm blared at 2 a.m. Maya's phone buzzed violently. Motion detected. Back door. She threw on a jacket, heart pounding, and drove through the rain. When she arrived, the glass door was shattered. Spray painted across the wall in crude red letters, "Stay in your place." Elliot was already there, police lights flashing against his soaked suit. "Maya." She walked past him, trembling but silent, eyes locked on the vandalized words. "They think this will scare me," she said, voice low. "They don't know me at all." Reporters arrived within hours. Someone asked if she blamed the Carter family. She looked straight into the lens and said, "I don't blame anyone. But I won't be silenced." Her defiance made headlines again, but so did the threats. A week later, a stranger came to the clinic. Tall, sharp smile, expensive coat. "Nathan Voss," he said smoothly. "Old friend of Mr. Carter's." Maya crossed her arms. "Friends don't send cameras and vandals." He laughed. "You're bold. I see why he's smitten. State your business. I'm here to warn you. You've stirred up something bigger than you realize. Men with money don't like when someone from nowhere rewrites their narrative." "And what narrative is that?" "That a black woman can be the hero," he said coldly. "It unnerves them. You unnerved them." She stared him down. "Good." He stepped closer. "Be careful, Miss Williams. You think you're the storm? You're the spark. And sparks burn out." Her phone buzzed in her pocket. Elliot's name flashed across the screen. She didn't answer. When she looked up, Nathan was gone. That night, Elliot stormed into her apartment. "He came to see you? How do you know?" "Because he came to me first. My father's old advisor, the man's poison in a suit." "Then why is he still walking free?" "Because money protects monsters, Maya." "You should know that better than anyone." Her voice hardened. "I'm not afraid of him." "You should be." "No," she said, stepping close enough to feel his breath. "He should be afraid of me." Their eyes locked, fear, desire, fury, all tangled in the space between them. And then, without permission, he kissed her. It wasn't gentle. It was the kind of kiss that made sense only to people who'd almost died together. When it broke, she whispered, "This will ruin us." "Then let it," he said. But the world was already watching. Days later, Maya arrived at the clinic to find police tape again, but this time, Nathan Voss was the one in cuffs. He'd broken in, caught on security cameras, ranting about purity and control. Elliot arrived just as the squad cars pulled away. "He'll spin it," Maya said. "He'll say it was nothing." "Not this time," Elliot replied. "I leaked the footage myself." She blinked. "You what?" "The whole thing, every word." "Every threat?" "Your company will implode." He shrugged. "Then it deserves to." For the first time, she didn't see a billionaire. She saw a man with something worth losing and choosing her anyway. By dawn, the video had gone viral. Comment sections lit up with rage and solidarity. "We stand with Maya" trended nationwide. But not everyone celebrated. Anonymous emails followed. Political whispers, rumors that she was manipulating him, blackmailing him. When she told him to stop defending her, he said, "If standing beside you ruins me, then I never deserved what I had." Weeks later, Maya was called to testify at a city hearing. She stood before a room full of officials and cameras, calm and unflinching. "I'm not here for pity," she said. "I'm here for memory." Because people like me, we save lives every day and still get punished for it. That has to change. Elliot stood behind her, silent support in a world that once doubted her existence. The law she proposed, expanding Good Samaritan protections, passed unanimously. They called it Maya's Clause. Months later, her clinic reopened, bigger this time. The sign above the door read, Maya Williams Community Care Center. Helen Carter came to the dedication, pearls traded for humility. She took Maya's hand and said quietly, "You remind me of the woman my son married, strong, fearless, impossible to ignore." Maya smiled faintly. Then maybe she sent me. Elliot watched from the crowd, pride softening his usual reserve. When their eyes met, something unspoken passed between them, gratitude, longing, maybe love. That evening the sky turned gold over the city. Maya locked up the clinic, exhaustion and peace mingling for the first time. Elliot's car pulled up quietly. He stepped out holding 2 cups of coffee. "You're going to burn out," he said. "I've been burning for years," she replied. "Now it finally means something." He smiled. "You changed the city, Maya." She shook her head. "We did." The wind lifted her hair, carrying the scent of rain, the same kind of storm that once brought them together. Elliot took her hand, slow, deliberate. "You still don't trust easily, do you?" She met his eyes. "Trust has to be earned. And have I?" She hesitated, then whispered, "Almost." He laughed softly. "I'll take that." As the city lights flickered around them, she leaned into his shoulder, whispering, "Next time, try not to nearly die just to meet me." "I'll try," he said, "but I make no promises." She smiled, tired, alive, unbreakable. Because love wasn't the ending of her story. It was the reward for surviving it. If this story moved you, share it, save it, and tell someone who still believes love can heal what the world breaks. Because Maya and Elliot's story isn't about rescue, it's about rebirth.